everybody, we're finally back. And believe it or not, this on-site job I'm on is actually done. We finished late Friday evening. Anyway, it was a couple days ago. Got done. Finally done over almost 2.5 years being gone for long spurts. Anyway, so got back home and didn't do anything. Thanks for watching. No, I'm just kidding. I have been doing some fast tracks work to get ready for the track work changes. So I figured I'll just show that real quick and show a few other things in the layout. Not a whole lot to show. I'll try to keep this short. But now that I'm home, and I told the boss that, hey, since you didn't pay me any overtime for the 2.5 years I've been gone, I'm taking like the whole month of January off. So I should have a fair amount of time to get down here and really get some work done. So like I said, I have been building fast tracks turnouts. I have several done. This curve set here is a kind of a customized set. That's for inside staging. This other curved one's for staging. Oh, that one there for staging. That's for an industry. This is for a coal ladder. And one of the nice things I like about fast tracks is, well, you could do it with commercial turnouts too, but you can kind of cut, because the way this was, it was so tight because of the ladder. And if you would have just made normal switches, they wouldn't have fit and given you the track spacing. So I was able to kind of mark and cut and add some extra PCB board ties in there to make it all fit together. And I extended this out to the next turnout that's going to be sitting after it. And same thing, this is for a crossover out of the yard lead to the main line in Eugene East. That's just a number 8 for the engine service area. I have, well, 4 number 10s are done. I might only need 2 of them now, anyway. And then a lot of the older turnouts I've been working on cleaning them up. You can see a lot of them have the frog wire still on them, which is kind of a nuisance. But I've been cleaning up some of the old, cork debris from the bottom, checking them out, make sure they still all operate very nicely, and just get them together. And up here you can see a little possible change to the track plane. Maybe I'll show it a little bit later, but what this is in the factory area where this can go into staging. I'm just trying to adjust the glare out there. So this is the main line here. This is the number 10 that comes off, comes up to here, and then this makes no sense unless you watch my other videos, but this goes back into staging. So instead of just coming out and going right in, I said, well, could I put a crossing there? I mean, it's going to be a dummy crossing. It's not really going to go anywhere. But this might look more, railroady and cool. So I might go ahead and do that. I did make this turnout. It's drying up right now. It's all been cut. And then, I extended it out to the crossing. So it's all set to go in. This will be a small piece of flex in here. So been doing a lot of work on the turnouts, and like I said, I'm going to go slowly here so people don't get nauseous. So even with all of the turnouts I'm able to save, I don't know what's going to show up there, but that's my list. Still a lot to make, and it's really annoying making these turnouts. Not hard, it's just a lot of work. But material cost-wise is nearly nothing because I have all the track and all the ties from before. And it's just a matter of, you can either pay with time or pay with money. And, doing this, I'm paying with time, which is okay. Unless I get sick of it and decide to buy a bunch of number 6s online. But anyway, so I have, from what I have done here, I have everything I need for the staging area. Because I did break down, and I did buy some microengineering 6s for in staging, and 1 Pico curve turnout that I need for staging. So I have all that. I have everything for staging. Trying to get everything for the Eugene Yard, and then I want to possibly do some things over here. So let's take a little peek on this side and see what's going on. Alright, so over here, I think what I'm going to do, you know, I'm getting more and more of an annoying feeling that I'm not using a lot of the structures that I already built and spent so much time on. So I'm considering maybe putting a station in here. I'll have to redo this track here, and maybe even add in an industry back here. Because if I want to get some more operation, you obviously you need something for the railroad to do. So I might be able to bring this back. It'd be kind of an odd arrangement, but it'll work. I've already checked it out. Everything will fit. And it lets me use this structure that I've already built. Because all these structures, I built them, I interior detailed them. They're all, you know, they have lights. It's a shame that I have them sit in the box. Up here in Pittsfield, for going into staging, I think I'm going to leave this alone. So I was going to knock this out and put a number 10, but I'm just going to leave the double crossovers in there. I'm sorry, the two single crossovers together. And probably just make this track go right back into staging. This track will then become a single track. I think I'm liking the way that might look over around into the new factory area. For here, you can see what I did. I went nuts. I broke down and bought this kit. This is awesome. I love building kits like this. This is going to be a blast. It's a South River Model Works, H.W. Myers and Son. It just had that look that I really thought looked cool. I'm probably going to use the main building, the coal silos, this cool looking building. I'm probably going to use somewhere else. I think back in the engine facility, because it looks kind of like a industrial brick building that might be back in that area. So this industry, this, and this, which you can kind of see. It's kind of hard to do here in the corner, but have them in here. I'll have to bring, you know, a new turnout off the main, come in. Like to have, ideally, a spot here for the building, a spot there for the coal, every now and then. And then maybe extend it back, chop out a little of the hill here, and have more, an area for industrial use for coal. So they'd come in, the public, so to speak, you know, with their pickup trucks and their buckets and get some coal. And this would be more for the more industrial customers coming in with trucks and loading up. Doesn't really fit with the modern era, but more and more I'm getting a bug to kind of not worry about that as much and just have some fun with the layout. So then over here in Ophalis Junction, this is a creamery. It's on the New York, Ontario, and Western, which I have a soft spot for. I might do something like that. Again, this building has all interior details. It's all lighted. You know, I spent a lot of time working on it. Is it perfect for in there? No. Is it modern era? Heck no. Good Lord, these creameries were gone by the, I don't know, what, some 30s or 40s even. But who cares? So if I want to run more a 50s era, maybe I can say it survived. If I go modern era, well, they kept it, turned it into a museum or something like that. Maybe I have a little gravel loader here for the modern era, I don't know. And then I also bought some additional backdrops. These are from Lark Products. And what I'm going to do with these, alright, so I got to come to some conclusion on what I'm going to do back here. So this is kind of, it's going to be hard to see, but roughly where that's going to be. Obviously not laying down flat, because that would just be crazy. It'll be up here as a backdrop for an industry with 3D buildings in front of it. You know, more tanks, probably something where I can put cars inside the building, an office area here. I'm thinking maybe coming up and having a bridge over the tracks at this far end. And then have another one here, and that size to go between another 3D building and then that backdrop. Again, it's designed to cover this mess here. And then, oh, my battery's dying. I'll be right back. Okay, fresh battery in the back. So, like like I said, this is here designed to cover up that ugly mess back there. Have another set of 3D buildings in here, and then this backdrop will run in the back. It's going to be hard to see, but you can kind of see roughly where it's going to sit in there, interspersed among, you know, some foregrounds if they help blend it in. Probably going to cut them, you know, cut the sky out of this, mount this on foam board, and then put it up against it. It probably won't look perfect, but I think it'll make it make more sense. And I have several cool looking industries and some ideas what to do along the back here to kind of hide that ugly dry. That's one of the biggest mistakes I made, was putting the backdrop so high. Anyway, live and learn. The track arrangement in here, for now I might just keep the same and either call it, you can see he's got all the 50 cars in there, you know, make it like a freight area. If I go modern, make it kind of like a transload. But I'm more and more, I just don't feel like ripping out a whole lot of track and just for little nitnoid stuff. I have enough work to do as it is. And then that's pretty much it. So I have, you know, kind of in my mind what I want to do over here. This all has to come out. You can see I got a mess. I need to go buy some totes and start storing stuff. But all this is going to be all ripped out. You know, this will all come out starting about here. This is then where the main line kind of swoops back around, goes into staging, then comes back around, and out. A lot of work. But I think I'm going to concentrate first over here in the yard, get the stuff along the back done. I have a couple of turnouts to add because I want to have some industries and, you know, some 3D buildings and things like that. Then work on the coal yard, the modifications up here, which will be a little bit of work. Looks like Steve was running a train down here. Cool. Get the coal yard done. Get the engine service area done. That way that's all at least done. And then I can worry about the major work, ripping and tearing over here, which is going to shut things down for quite a while. So, but again, if I get some time off and I can really concentrate and just, you know, have no eating, no going to the bathroom, well, once a day, work 16 hours, maybe I'll get this done in a reasonable amount of time. All right, so that's it. So I'm back. I'm gonna start getting to work down here. Like I said, got plans for Eugene Yard. Have a real fun building to build here for this little corner area, and then contemplating what I want to do to use some of the other kits that I have back in the back in boxes. But man, it's a shame. I really hate to leave those kits again that I put so much effort into. I don't know if you can look in there, you can see the, I probably can't see, but it's all interior detailed. And all right, anyway, and passengers, you gotta love a passenger station. You know, modern railroading, which Steve and I were doing, just because that's what we see, but it's so boring when you think about all the things that used to be. Anyway, oh yeah, I still gotta scratch build the darn build. Well, that looks nice and blown out, huh? I still want to scratch build the diner. Get to that. I'm going to keep this here. I like the idea I have here for the industry in Lake City. So I'll keep doing that. So, all right, so shut up, Rob. Okay, real quick, since what I was talking about there back in the room might have made no sense, I figured I'd just show this quickly. Here, and here's the overall layout. This is in Third Planet. Like I mentioned, along the back wall in Eugene Yard, you can see where I put some of those backdrops cut and then interspersed with three-dimensional things in the front. You know, a building with cars that can come in and maybe something outside, and, you know, I don't know, some cool tanks, you know, around here and there and that kind of stuff. These are the changes to the Eugene Yard to make it more prototypical. Another 3D building out from this, where this sticks out for the drain pipe. And then another piece, that smaller piece of backdrop. And then something along in here. Again, with some 3D buildings in the front to kind of hide, you know, the ends of these backdrop pieces. That's the real long piece there. And then I'll have to put some type of 3D stuff in here, or cut this and intersperse it with a 3D building and put the other side on. This track arrangement is the same. I'm not changing that. I'm basically just adding a number 6 here to give me access here, and then these 2 number 8s, which I'll salvage. They're being moved over from somewhere else to give me some 3D buildings and some more industries along the backdrop area. Again, this just shows the engine terminal. That really didn't change much over there. Then over here in the factory area, you can see what I decided to do. And I think I'm going to go this way. Before, this is pretty much the same. It came in here, came back through a curve into the staging area. Okay, so that's really the only way I can access the staging area. So I'm not going to change that concept. But what I think would be kind of cool, there's the turnout that I just made. If I have a crossing in here, even if it's just a dummy crossing, just to give you some, more of a railroady atmosphere. And that would be the ability to put some interesting signals. And I think it'd be a cool scene. So it's an email, sorry, work related. This is the factory area, kind of redesigned. I looked at a lot of Google Maps of the Pittsfield Transformer Factory, what's left of it, Pennsylvania Transformer down in Canonsburg, the old Westinghouse plant, just to kind of see what they looked like. This isn't perfect. I really could use more room. But anyway, that's the fact. It works, and I did kind of play with it and say, okay, if a local came in from the main railroad, they could drop cars off in here. Then the little yard switcher, he can come out and start switching and never have to interfere with the main line or with call it the branch. Doesn't have to cross it to get to the other industry. There's another industry over here, but it's really a separate industry that is switched by, I figure out of Eugene Yard, the local would come in, drop and pick off some cars here, then move down and service this industry here. So that's the crossing that I kind of showed in the earlier clip where I was working up. I did print this off, like I said, 1-to-1, and then was able to make this turnout match up perfectly with the 2 crossings there. So that's what I'm thinking of doing here, and maybe even I might be pushing my luck here because this looks pretty busy, but I think it'll look okay. But wouldn't it be kind of neat if this, when it came across, could actually go somewhere, at least for stage, like a local goes into staging somewhere, so you can actually run trains across the crossing? Well, that could be a push, and I just tried this today. Let me pull up this layer. What if I did something like this? Kind of brought it around, and maybe it comes a little bit lower. As it comes across here, it comes gradually downgrade, so you have some grade separation here, and then I can bring it into some type of tunnel, well, some type of a tunnel, not just some type of a tunnel, and then basically back here, this is roughly a 6-foot, track, just to bring a local, or a passenger, who knows, something out of the staging, across the main line, into here. Now, this is just a dead-ended, hidden little staging track. Maybe I could put a turnout with another track, but it has to be hand-switched and blah, 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 so might not make a whole lot of sense. But I don't know, just thinking about it, it gives you the ability during an operating session to actually, have to hold a train for something else to actually run across the crossing. I don't know, it just sounds like it might be something to think about. Like I said, staging is pretty much didn't do any changes to staging. Here's kind of what I'm proposing for the alignment here at 97. As you can see, let me go back down. Keep all of this. Just leave it alone. It's less I got to tear out. It's less. I'm just trying to do things to give me the better operations, but not spend the next 8 years of my life ripping the layout apart to get there. So I leave that alone, and basically just extend this into staging. That doesn't steal room away because I'm already close here. And before I had to turn out and I was getting really close to the back. So anyway, and then leave this, as this is the original line here, just take out the other track. You could say, yeah, just leave it all double. Yeah, I could, and I still might. I don't know. Maybe just put a turnout here and leave it all double. I don't know, but I kind of like the fact that it's single track. Maybe it used to be double track, and if I actually tear out the double track, I can leave it, make it look like it used. Anyway, you know what I mean? So this is the industry. This is the South Hills Model Works kit with the cold trestle there. And then here's what I'm thinking of maybe doing up in 97. This is that little passenger station. That's actually a Walther's freight station. It was small enough that it might fit there. I didn't put this track in here, but it's there. And then this would all kind of work with those two other industries I showed. That's the one I built. That's the little crane. So they get a flat car with stuff or a box car with stuff. I don't know, just to do it, just to have some other industry. And again, to use the darn kits that are already freaking made and put all that effort into. All right, so that's really the biggest thought changes there for the layout. I'm going to start working, like I said, I want to start working back along here, get this all done, get a little bit of track back here. Maybe you have to add a rapido, uncoupler in the back or something like that, and then start getting these backdrop pieces up, the buildings up, getting these 3D buildings in, so I don't have to be crawling over everything when I start working the things here in the front, the ladder for the coal yard, the engine facility. I want this all done in the back, so I'm not reaching over and guaranteed I'll be breaking stuff. All right, so that's that. So that just kind of shows on the track plan what I'm thinking of. And this shows, I just wonder if that would look okay. I don't know. I'm intrigued. Which then begs the question, then, well, how come you don't just run it around and underneath? I don't want to get underneath here. There's so much stuff underneath here. But I don't know, maybe I could. I could probably bring this in and bring it around underneath and have a bigger staging yard, and then you can run more trains across the crossing. I don't know, maybe. Once this is done, this can come later at some point. I do have to make sure, I know I'm babbling, but I'll just show the bench work. So you can see I don't really, this is 4 feet across here. It does pinch down here a little bit, but you probably would just have one person up here at a time. You can see it doesn't really take a whole lot of additional aisle space to do that. I might have to come out a little bit, maybe out to here, another 4 or 5 inches, maybe another ½ foot or so. But that still makes that 3.5 feet at its worst. At its worst. This I could always move out just to give me some. I think it could work if I want to do that. I guess I'd be curious to see what people think. Is it just getting way too busy? Let me just take the bench work off because it's hard to see everything at once. There's the concept of the crossing and then having, more work. And then coming across with this, some additional staging. So you could run staging to staging on the main layout. And anyway, what do you think? My thoughts, but again, that's a little bit further into the future. Because if I have all this done and I leave this available, I can always work on that later. So, okay, enough of this. Back to the other originally scheduled update, and then we'll cut back in where I left off. All right, I'll get this posted. Just to let you know, I am back. Going to probably spend the next maybe a week. I want to get all the turnouts done because when that's in front of me, it just bothers me. So I want to get it done, and then start with the other work. So updates should be coming a little bit more frequently. Hopefully once a week or so. Now that I'm back and can actually work, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So we're back. Get this up. Probably won't do anything for another week or so, but everyone out there have a very Merry Christmas. I'll try to do one next week, but if not, Happy New Year, and we'll keep pushing away down here. Now that I'm home, I'm really going to try to hit this hard until I get burned out doing it, because who knows what's going to happen come, February, March. Anyway, okay, so more to come. We'll get some work going here, and hopefully be able to show you some real progress in the next couple updates.